Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the next edition of the Draft Huddle. We are on the final stretch here for the draft. What's up, Foots? You ready for this?
Woo! Yo, hope that didn't blow anybody's eardrums out. But Joe, it's here, baby. This is the last one. And before we'll be in Dallas together, Joe, hanging out. Your son's coming, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a family event, man. I can't wait, dude.
It's a family event. I'm gonna be up there with Mark Holmes, Joe Rob, Vach, Law. All the YouTubers are going to hang out. Me and Joe are gonna go sneak into the Cowboys war room. We got our guys, all of that, right, Joe?
Yeah, man. That would be awesome if we could get in the war room. But yeah, man, it's good, man. We're gonna try to link up and do some videos for you guys if we have time.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great, Joe. And just like I can honestly say, because I know we'll definitely do a recap, but I think, Joe, let's just take this time to just say, man, thank you guys. Like the Cowboys Huddle, Joe's channel is booming. You guys my channel is booming. I'm thankful for every subscriber. Like, you guys have been with us. I was going back and just watching some of our old content from last year, Joe, and it's like Cowboys Huddle is really a thing. Like, this is a thing, Joe. And then, like, our draft coverage has been spot on. I went back and watched the linebacker video that we did, Joe, and we were on top of the backers back then.
Yeah.
Everybody was late to the party, man. Salute to us, Joe, and the work. Like, we got to pat ourselves on the shoulder and thank these fans, man.
Absolutely, man. We got to thank all you guys for coming back. Questions and comments in the comment box, man. It's been awesome, man. The feedback's been great. The conversation on all these players has been awesome. So yeah, big shout out to you guys.
It's been amazing, Joe. Like, amazing, yo. I'm just so amped. I feel like Joe, I'm just ready. You know, this is our holiday. This is Cowboys fans, football fans holiday, man. Straight up.
It is, man. It is. It's the off-season Super Bowl, baby.
Man, wow. I'm ready. You want to hit these questions up, Joe? What you think?
Yeah, so we asked you guys to ask us some questions here for this, this next video here. So yeah, let's do it. What do you got, Foots?
Okay, so let's bounce questions off of each other, Joe, and then we'll hit some more topics, and we'll keep these. I wouldn't say kind of short, but we want to get to a couple other topics, Cowboys related, draft related. So yeah. Me and Joe were talking before the record. So I'm gonna do this one, Joe. The real J. Prue. Shout out to you, the real J. Prue. DJ Chark or DJ Moore? Joe, what do you think?
It's not even close, man. I'd say DJ Moore all the way, man. All the way. I mean, he's just a better all-around player. Better hands, really. Chark has the speed, but he has a little bit too many of the drops, man. But that's just me. What do you think, Fuzz?
Nah, 100%. Chark is... Chark is that guy. He looked good at the Senior Bowl. Has the speed, combine, knocked it out the park. But DJ Moore is just a better football player. He's just a better football player. Yeah. It's better receiver, better hands, stronger with the ball in his hands. I just did a receiver breakdown, so it's not even close.
Good question.
Very good question. What you got for me, Joe?
All right, man. So, yeah, the question I have comes from Zach Daly. Appreciate the question. He says, who could be a bigger bust, Vita Vea, Calvin Ridley, or Cameron Sutton?
This may surprise you guys, but I'm going to go Calvin Ridley. And I'll tell you why. Calvin Ridley has to go to the right scheme, and you have to know how to use him. Whether that's Dallas, whoever it may be, the one issue with Calvin Ridley, and it's a big issue, size. If Calvin Ridley can't get off a jam, if he can't work through press coverage, he won't be a successful NFL receiver. I'm telling you guys that now. You heard it here first on the Cowboys Huddle. He's going to have to get his hands in order. He's going to have to fight through coverage because what's happening in the league now is they're letting these corners play. You look at guys like Jalen Ramsey. They let him get extremely handsy with AB. That's just one example. So, to me, if the Cowboys take Calvin Ridley, for example, you have to have a plan. Maybe move him inside on certain downs. Maybe match him up on the team's worst corner or a lesser corner. You don't want him on a guy who plays a lot of man, Joe. So I definitely think that the bigger bust potential between those three would be Calvin Ridley. All right, Joe. This question comes from Orville Cole. Orville always gives us great comments and questions, and we have good conversations. So Orville asks, first, Joe Rock, what are your views on drafting a running back, in the fourth? There are some very good running backs that might be available. Do you think we can get a back that can take 30% of the workload? What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, definitely. Fourth round and later, definitely the sweet spots for getting a later running back. But I don't know about 30%. But definitely someone that can spell, Ezekiel Elliott and Rod Smith. Maybe get yourself a little third down scat back, pass catching running back, something like that. A little change up. But yeah, man, I could totally see that. There's a couple guys out there. You got, Akram Wadley's a good one. Kelly, man, that's a really good one. I think he could be there possibly in the fourth. But there's gonna be a lot of players out there. This is a deep running back class, so yeah, for sure.
Mark Walton, Naheem Hines. You're right, Joe. You're spot on with that. So, and you also got to keep in mind, Zeke's been clean up to this point, but he's one thing away from a suspension for a year. So
that is a good point. That's a very good point, man. Hopefully he'll keep clean.
That's it. Yeah, I agree.
All right, I got one here for you, Foots. This comes from ABLK. He says, why can't Landry, Harold Landry, play strong side LB5? Landry's better.
Okay. Yeah. Good question. To me, it's his size and it's really his play style. Doesn't have the longest arms. He's really only 6'2", 250. So that's not his game. His game is get up the field, be quick, get to quarterback, chase. But, the Cowboys want that left defensive end to be able to set the edge and play the run very, very well. So that's kind of what they have. That would be for the Cowboys scheme. And I know what you guys mean by 5 technique, but that's not Landry's strong suit. He's a right defensive end, and what Marinelli likes to do, have his players getting up the field. So yeah, that would be my answer to that. I just think because of the size, really. And I don't think he's better than Nick Chubb. I like Harold Landry, but he's not better than Nick Chubb. Let me find one. Okay, here goes a good one. Weston Hugler. I want linebacker or offensive guard in the first. Really better be picked early. I really don't want them to reach in the draft. Wide receiver. Oh, so that's more of a comment. Okay, here goes a good one. And Joe, I don't know how to say this guy's name. I think it's Bija and Luke Gaming. Can you go into depth on rounds 2 through 4 as far as receivers go? Receivers such as Deion Kane, DJ Chark, EQ St. Brown. I know, Joe, you have a bunch of info on EQ. I'll throw some more out there. Michael Gallup, James Washington, Deshaun Hamilton, depending on how you see him. What do you think about these players, Joe? That sweet spot in the draft for receivers. Anthony Miller. Who sticks out to you, Joe? Give me what are your thoughts on those guys?
Man, I think the sweet spot for this draft in general are between the second and fourth rounds. I think there's a lot of talent in those rounds. So, but for wide receivers, we're talking about here. Yeah, man, you can definitely pick them up. James Washington would be the perfect pick in the second round. If you want the best, route runner, in my opinion, it's probably Deshaun Hamilton. And the whole thing has been we need better route runners, this and that, and this and that. So if that's the case, Deshaun Hamilton, he's one. DJ Chark is obviously the one that stretches the field, but if you got to deal with some of the drops. EQ St. Brown, I think he's really complete. He can run a lot of the route tree and dependable. He just needed a better quarterback last season, but he's got good tape, man. Michael Gallup, I like him. He's more of a physical type of runner. You give him the ball, and he's going to be kind of hard to bring down. And Anthony Miller, I like him too. He's kind of been forgotten about, but he's solid. But yeah, man, second through fourth round, you'll get somebody that can come in here and start for you.
I agree. I agree. Joe, you really like EQ, don't you?
I love EQ. Now I don't know how much the Cowboys like him. I know that they love the program, so I'm not sure if they even have to
I haven't
bring him
seen
in.
him.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't seen him on the
No, yeah, I
field.
haven't seen his name. I haven't seen it. My bad, Joe. I didn't mean to cut you off. I haven't seen his name tied to Dallas, like at all.
Yeah, it hasn't been. I mean, he wasn't a 30 visit, and I think he just had like a casual, informal at the combine. I think that was it. So, but like I said, they're really close to the program. They have their you know thumbprint on it, on the pulse of that program. So you never know.
I agree, Joe. You got another one for me?
I got one here that's kind of a comment, but I think would be a kind of a good question. It's from Eric David Sports. He just says, if Harold Landry or Derwin James fall, you have to draft either. So I think this would be kind of like a good question for you, Foots. Like, if either of those fall, uh, would you maybe consider moving up a little bit to get one of those guys?
Okay, if Derwin gets to, let's say, 15 Arizona, I would go. Harold, I would kind of stand pat because if he gets past Green Bay, I think that he would fall right into your lap if you really want him. So, and Derwin, I think he's a once in every 10-year player. I think that I like Harold Landry a lot. I'm not as high as like you and Bachar. My guy has always been Derwin though, and that's who I'm going for. I do like Harold Landry. I just think it's kind of a logjam at the end right now. But thinking about what could happen possibly with DeMarcus Lawrence in the future, and I know you've noted that a lot on your channel. So I would get that, but I wouldn't move for Landry. I would only move for Derwin James. Period. I would only move for Derwin James, Joe. I think he's that good of a player. I think if he's used right, um, I think he would be a steal, Joe. Not a steal, but just a stud. Even if you had even if you had to give up, I wouldn't want to do a premium pick, but even if you had to give up, I just love Derwin James. Put it like that, Joe.
Yo, man, but that's the exciting thing about this draft. Like, there's the possibility that one of these big talent, Minka, could fall. You never know. Derwin, Harold Landry. I mean, you could have yourself a real good blue chipper fall right in your lap. I mean, that would be awesome, man. I'm hoping that happens actually.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you like this: the suspense, the just the excitement on when it gets to pick 19 in Dallas. You're spot on, Joe. This is the first time I have not in covering the draft. I've been getting draft guides my whole life. Not my whole life, since I can remember. I was 2 days staying up in the morning studying film when I was like 11 years old. I just loved it. I would be doing music and I'd be doing it. And so my point is, this is like really the first time that I couldn't pinpoint what Dallas was going to do. Like, there's literally 6 positions, seriously:
Yeah.
guard, receiver, safety, D tackle, linebacker. That's 5. Okay, don't tight end and end, D end. So that's 7 positions. I don't care. People are gonna say we now have a needed tight end because of James Hanna being out. Okay, so or retiring or whatever his situation is. So there's literally, we can go any way. Tackle, Joe.
Yeah.
We can go any way in this
Yeah.
draft, and this is so much fun, dude. It's gonna be so much fun. All right, Joe. Let's take it home with this one. I'll give my thoughts on this one as well. Mike Diaz. Do you guys think that someone like Deron Payne, Vita Vea can make our linebackers look better? I think this was probably the best question out of all of these questions. They were all good questions, but I like this question a lot. What do you think, Joe? A good defensive tackle, can they make our linebackers look great?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's no question. That can absolutely happen because you get these guys blocking these guards and centers that they're good at getting at the second level, wiping out your linebackers. If you have some big body guys out there that have to engulf a double team or something like that, then yeah, your linebackers can roam around and make plays all over the place. So yeah, there's no doubt, man. No doubt in my mind that would help out the linebackers.
No, yeah, I think that what Daron Payne am I getting? I've seen him mock to Dallas.
Yeah.
But what am I getting the playoff run Daron Payne, or am I getting Daron Payne throughout? Like, I fell asleep watching this film just because there wasn't much there, and he's on a stud defense throughout the season. But then, you cut on that Georgia tape, and he very easily could have been defensive player of the game or just player of the game. If it wasn't for Tua, he could have been the player of that game. He was that good.
Yeah,
Daron Payne was that good in that game. They couldn't block him, and that's a good offensive line from Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you're right on, dude. You're spot on with that, and that's true, man. Like, which are you getting? And I think a lot of teams are going to have to battle that in their war rooms with that guy.
No, yeah. It's going to be interesting, Joe. I can't wait. So, Joe, a couple other topics that I think that we wanted to touch on. You had some ideas about Randy Gregory, and we've both been hearing that he's going to reinstate soon. I want to get your thoughts on this, Joe. Does this matter to Dallas at all as far as what their draft plans are?
No, it's zero. It makes zero impact. So let's say that Harold Landry falls in your lap, you don't say, "Oh, well, we have this guy coming back from suspension. We don't need Harold Landry." I definitely would not consider that. I mean, because, you still don't know. Like, maybe he does get reinstated, but what if he screws up and then, bam, he's banned for life? So, I mean, that's where you're at with Randy Gregory. He's one step from complete banishment, so you can't risk it. So, yeah, it definitely doesn't impact the draft at all for me.
Yeah, hearing everything, and it is great, and you're happy for the kid. And salute to Dallas for not giving up on him.
Yeah.
And he is a phenomenal talent. Even in the games that he did play in, and there weren't many, you see that bend. You see him get low and just capture that corner. It was special. But, it's failed drug test here. It's this, that, it's the line. It's too much. It really is, Joe. So, I don't know if I could buy into it either, Joe. You hear it, you get excited, but it's one of those things, like, until I see it, I don't know. I can't. No.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Yeah, I think all of our fans, I think all the fans would agree too, man. He has a history of not being able to be trusted, so yeah, you just got to keep moving on.
Yeah, no, I agree, Joe. You got anything else, man?
Well, we could touch back on tight ends. I know, James Hanna, he just retired, so, and we kind of touched on it here too. Like, does that become another draft target? So, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think? Somewhere in this draft they take a tight end possibly?
So, Joe, earlier we were talking, and I just said, Joe, let's just start recording now. So, because I was thinking outside the box, and I love when my mind just starts going crazy. Joe, if you tell me Gesicki, and I watched the film, and I was really big Dallas Goedert guy, so I watched Gesicki once, Ohio State, Michigan, I'm watching games. Like, man, this guy just keeps getting open. Like, they have no answer. Good defenses, right? Good Big Ten defenses that he's playing against.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, man, he's Travis Kelce. Okay? With a little bit more in-line ability, Joe. That offense was really him and Saquon, right?
That's right.
A little bit of Deshaun Hamilton, but it was,
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking to myself, could Dallas say, and Cowboys fans, don't throw the tomato at me, but could Dallas say, you know what? Why mess around with a receiver when we can get another Jason Witten now? You may have to come in and get a blocking guy or an inline guy later on in the draft, or a guy, maybe a Fumagalli, who that's really what his role is. Sixth round. But what if Dallas were to just pull the rug from under us and say, we want to play football in the middle of the field. We want a security blanket for Dak. I know Jason Witten is still on the roster. I know he blocks growth. But this talent, mixed with his tape, mixed with what he did at the Combine, Joe, because he blew the Combine to smithereens, right?
Yeah.
He goes to the Combine. He destroys the Combine. Then you watch the tape, and it's like it all adds up. Route running. I mean, it all adds up, Joe. It really does. So, Gesicki, I was Goddard, but then as I watched Gesicki, he's moving. He's my tight end one right now, Joe. He really is.
Yeah, I know. It's like I totally agree, man. Could they pull the rug on us? They've done it before, and they've done it with doing it with tight ends. So, man, I would not doubt it. And we've been telling fans all along, you get ready, don't get fixated. Get ready for the surprise pick, and man, that would be your classic surprise pick, tight end early, second round probably, right?
No, yeah, second, maybe trade up.
That would
maybe that's your trade up guy. Maybe you get the linebacker you want or the DN you want. Then you go up and say, I'm not playing around with these receivers. They take too long to develop. I'm going to get a sure thing tight end. He's built well. He's solid. He's a great player. Played at Penn State, big time football. I'm going to get this tight end right now. I like it, Joe. I think it could, man. Yeah. Hey, you can talk me into it. I mean, I love Rico Gathers. I do. But I just don't know if the team trusts him, Joe. I did a film breakdown on him last year. I loved him. Him and Cooper Rush. I mean, they were knocking it out the park in preseason. But I don't know if this team will ever put him on an active roster and have him in a live game. I don't, Joe. I don't.
I know. I get that vibe too, man. I get that he's just gonna be a project and that's it, man. I really do, which is unfortunate because he has flashes, but the Cowboys are so stubborn with some of their personnel moves. But yeah, man, don't all you guys out there don't get too surprised if that does happen. And man, you make a really good point, Foots. These wide receivers, they tend to take a little bit longer to develop, especially year one. Even the first round guys, we've seen that happen. So man, tight end could make a lot of sense. I know a lot of fans would be groaning and really upset. That would happen.
Joe, this team isn't much away. So I know fans will be upset, but be prepared to switch your mindset over because listen, if you give me a guy who can stretch the field, who can get these safeties who can't cover off balance, you see what Zach Ertz does for the Eagles. Zach Ertz was killing the Patriots. I know Alshon Jeffries had a good Super Bowl, but Zach Ertz was a beast. And I hate to say that, but he's in my division. I know. But listen, get ready, Joe. Get ready.
Yeah, nothing wrong with recognizing talent, even on other teams. Absolutely. I totally agree, Foots. I mean, Ertz is, you're probably your best tight end in the division right now. Being real.
Yeah, man. And when you have, like you said, when you have those mismatches, it just make life easier for Dak. I'll tell you that. It will, Joe.
It really would. And that's been the whole thing this offseason. The whole thing been making the quarterback friendly.
You cleared out a Ring of Honor guy for Dak. So you got to make it work. You're married to this. So,
yep.
And that's just the reality of it, Joe. And it's not me bringing the Dez thing back up, but that's the reality of it. So, I'm ready for this draft, Joe. I think we hit a lot today, dude. Wow.
Wait, one more for you, Foots.
Woo!
Are the Cowboys gonna make that trade for who for Earl Thomas? Are they, or do you want it to happen, and will the Cowboys do it?
All right, Joe. So after we get off this call, I was thinking about doing a scenario base that I'm reading about that Mike Fisher is reporting. That's a discussion, and it's a heavy discussion in the Cowboys brass, and the discussion is go up for Derwin or make the trade for Seattle. Now, Joe, what are we giving up for not for Seattle, excuse me, for Earl Thomas? Joe, what are we giving up for Earl? Is it a third? Is it our one? I would actually feel better giving up our one straight up and drafting. And if Earl would take now, what is Earl? How much money does he want to make, Joe? How long does he want? A 3-year? Does he want? I'm not doing it for a 1-year rental.
No.
So, you know what? Like, if I know the contract situation, then cool. Now you do need veteran leadership in that room. I get that. You got young kids, X Woods, Kayvon, who I'm hearing that Chris Richard loves. You love Kayvon.
Yeah, love him.
Yeah, so I think that there's your center fielder. So interesting that, and then you bump X Woods down on the slot. Heath is your special teams guy, and then you roll. Hey Joe, I said this whole offseason I'm not going to entertain the Earl talk, but it's here. And it's real. It's real. It's real. Just like the Dez getting cut was real. It's real, Joe. But I can't. I've heard $14 million a year. Do we have the cap space to do that, Joe?
I'm sure they would front load it with guarantees. Is probably how they would have to pull it off. And you're looking at probably close to 50% in guarantees, that's a lot of money for an older player.
That's a lot of money, Joe.
Yeah. So, what's the most you give for him, man? Second round, first, second, third, or what?
I would give my one, and that's it. I wouldn't give a bunch of picks because, if that's your one, then you get a guy, you get a legend. You maybe get, Law made a good point, and I respect Law for this. Maybe you get Charles Woodson. You see what he did when he left Oakland and went to Green Bay and basically helped Green Bay win a Super Bowl. So maybe you get that type of production. If Earl can give you 3 solid more years playing that just in the back end, letting our linebackers just play football, and just really being just a leader, captain. I mean, not a captain, but just a leader of your young guys and helping your young guys really learn the game of football and learn the nuances. I wouldn't be mad, Joe. And so that's my first round pick. Give it to Seattle straight up, and then nothing else. Like, I don't want to give away my 2, my 3 because I got to draft. I still have to draft, so I don't want to give away my 3rd because that's where you got to hit in this draft.
Yeah,
that would be me, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering where you stood on it because it's like you said, it is real. It is a conversation that is out there with these guys talking about it. So, what is the most?
It's real.
Yeah, for me, I'm giving a second at the very most. I just don't know if I could do a first. I think that would make me puke my guts out.
I think what does Seattle want, Joe?
Yeah.
Seattle's not gonna give Earl Thomas. They'll let Earl Thomas say whatever he wants. He's not having. They're not gonna give him away for peanuts. Period.
That's true. That is true. So, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man.
I can't wait, dude.
Yeah. But
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't.
I know, man. I'm pumped, dude. I can't wait. I probably won't. I don't know. I'll be totally unproductive today at work. This week.
Yeah. Just make sure you get some rest on them highways, man. We link up and just have a good time, bro.
That is true. That is true, man. But
on the night before, make sure you get your rest. So I don't want you sleeping on the highway before you get on the highway.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We will link up for sure, man. But I think that's all we have for you guys right now. And like we said in the beginning of the video, thanks for all continuing to watching us through all the draft season. We appreciate every single one of you visiting Foot's channel, my channel. We really do appreciate all the comments. And thanks for the great questions for this episode, too.
Yeah, man. Well, how many days will we away, Joe? 3 days?
It'll be 3 after.
4 days.
Yeah, it'll be
3 days on Monday. Woo!
3 days on Monday. That's it, everybody. Peace.
Thank you, guys. Peace.